Welcome your hosts, Caddy Frank and Erin Fitzgerald, as they lead discussions about substance use disorder and the journey to recovery. You're listening to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution.
Well, here we are again, having a wonderful day. I love my job doing this.
Yes.
It is so much fun. I get to be across from Erin and Brett, our dude.
Yeah.
You know, we just get to, like, talk.
Yeah, you know what's fun?
What?
Well, I just like when, like on our breaks and stuff, and Brett chimes in, he's the producer, and he'll be like, oh, I didn't know that about recovery, or I didn't know that. I like to learn this. I like listening.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
That just inspires us even more.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so inspirational. So, welcome to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution. We are here representing Minnesota Recovery Connection, and Erin has some folks she'd like to say thank you to.
Absolutely. As always, we want to say thank you to the Patrick and Amy Butler Family Foundation, Otto Bremer Trust, the Sauer Family Foundation, the Hardenberg Foundation, and all of you folks out there. Thank you for your donations. We totally appreciate it.
Yeah, can't really do it without you.
Yeah, wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah, wouldn't be here. But thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So, Miss Erin, here we are, a new day. What's right with you today?
All the things. Mostly it's just the weather, but recently I've been able to hang out with lots of friends and like family members and stuff that I don't get to see frequently. So I just really love that.
What's that sort of that typical summer thing where we actually are seeing folks,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's like summer is so darn busy, and it just so happens that every once in a while I can actually like spend time.
Oh,
right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love summertime. So the weather is also what's right with me.
Yeah, because you love this hot heat stuff. Yeah,
give it to me.
Yeah, she's just like, let me sweat. Let me love this humidity. Caddy's like, no.
No, I know most people are like, who's got AC?
Yeah, but see, I don't have AC at my house, so I choose not to have it. I'm kind of crazy that way. Don't like AC. Now, I'll be in at work, I'll be in at shopping, I'll do that, but in my house, I don't like it very much. I know.
It's just too crisp for me.
Yeah.
I know.
So,
how about you? What's right with you?
well, might be slightly a heavier note, but a really good thing happened. I took care of my dad. My dad passed away unexpectedly back in December, and I brought his being, which was in a bag, in a box, up to Lake Superior and gave him back to the place where he was born. And that sounds very heavy, but what's right about it is that it lifted me up. It took away a weight. You know, so it's kind of like a reality check. We have to sometimes do the hardest things from the hardest experiences. But I was able to move forward even that day and get some things done. Not so much that day, the next day. And that's what's right. Because sometimes things hold you back that we don't want to walk into because of either fear or perception or whatever it is. And I walked right into it. And I had people around me to help me. And I even my recovery community, I reached out in just very minor ways. And I told people about this. And they're like, wow, okay, good on you.
Good, just to support you through that.
Yeah.
So it was like a little bit of a release for you.
Yeah, and a big release for him. Okay, so I got to say one funny thing. Okay, so just follow along on this one, folks. So my father liked the cocktails. So no wonder why we'll leave a lot of history out of this. No wonder why I did too. I was sort of learned behavior. Back in the day, we did wine tasting, champagne tasting. So I was emptying his ashes out in Lake Superior, and a few of them got stuck on this particular boulder. And I was like, okay, it'll wash away. Well, it wasn't washing away right away. And so my partner, Eric, and I were sort of in another area where we could dunk our feet because it was super hot. And I looked over, and Eric's like, yeah, the ashes are on the rocks. And Eric's like, yeah, well, your dad kind of liked things on the rocks. So I know that sounds a little weird, but you know what? the reality
That's
is
adorable.
The reality is it made me laugh. It made Eric laugh. His important person in his life, Carol, it kind of made her laugh a little too. I mean, you know what? These are the realities of life. Yeah, he had a substance use issue. He drank too much. It isn't what took his life, but things got complicated for a while, but things actually got better too, because when I got in recovery, it changed our relationship.
Yeah.
Wholly and completely. So sorry, that was a little story I just decided to tell off the rails.
Yeah. I'm glad you got to do that.
Yeah. So last discussion we were talking about the
principles of peer recovery.
Look at my beautiful co-host. She's just right on it like glue.
Sometimes she remembers things.
I love it. So we had kind of put together a nice picture, I think, of what peer recovery services are. And what we want to do is now we want to take the next step and talk about what's called the Recovery Bill of Rights. And this is produced by Faces and Voices of Recovery. And they are really another one of the huge bodies that talk about recovery and recovery services and peer recovery specialists and the whole world of helping people find their space back in the world.
Yeah, they're great. They were formed in St.
Paul, yeah.
And now they're national.
Yeah, and I think probably somewhere between 25 and 30 years old. I don't have my statistics on me, but they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they do things right, though.
And they have about 11 points, and we're not going to bore you and read them all because they're very wordy and very long. But what we want to do is we want to re-emphasize the fact that people that struggle with substance use disorder, sometimes we get the short end of the stick.
Yep, because people look at us like we are now morally corrupt. We're bad people for some reason.
Why don't you just stop?
Why don't you just stop? Why can't you?
Yeah.
Something must be wrong with you.
Yeah. I mean, you got this consequence, you got that consequence, you got this happen, you've had that happen. You've hurt me, you've hurt the family. And the fact is that as we discuss every single week, and that is the person that's struggling with a substance use disorder didn't wake up one morning and go, you know what, I think I want to be an alcoholic. Yep, that's what today is going to look like. So I'm going to drop, right? I'm just going to go right into that pool.
Yep, from here on out.
Yeah, let's just do that. Now, there's usually something going on behind the scenes. Yeah. Now, there's some individuals that they have no idea what brought on this use that they have. But usually there's some stuff. And in this Recovery Bill of Rights, it just sort of pinpoints some real specific areas where people that struggle with substance use disorder are not seen the same way.
Right, because it really should all just be about human rights, right? Just give everybody the support that they need, no matter what it is that they're using to cope with, right?
And we look at all other diseases with open lens. Why is this one seen through sometimes some bad goggles?
Yeah, and we like to say, when cancer was first, I don't know, when cancer was talked about, or when it changed from people being like cancerous, right, to somebody having cancer, because there was misinformation about it, right? And same with HIV and AIDS. When people got information and they understood more about these things, the stigma was taken away, and the same can be true now.
Yeah,
for substance use disorder.
It's a really great way of putting it, because a lot of people used to look at, and even diabetes, oh, that's just a certain problem with a certain population that look a certain way. No, it's not. It can happen to anybody at anywhere along the line of their life. But what we did is we, as you said, we understood it, and we gave it possible medical interventions. And they learned along the way what works and what doesn't work, just like people that are struggling with recovery. So, and struggling with substance use disorder and wanting to get in recovery. Let me rephrase that. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the Recovery Bill of Rights by Faces and Voices of Recovery. So thank you for listening to Redefining Recovery, a Recovery Revolution. We will be back soon.
Welcome back to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution.
I like hello. She's back.
You know what's funny? Wait, this is turned up a little bit loud, so that music came on really loud, and so it was kind of like that.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
You woke me up. Sorry. Here we are back again. And we were just talking about the Recovery Bill of Rights that was produced by Faces and Voices of Recovery. So we're going to talk about these a little bit. I wanted to just read a little snippet of kind of why these the Bill of Rights exists. And it says, we will improve the lives of millions of Americans, their families, and communities if we treat addiction to alcohol and other drugs as a public health crisis. To overcome this crisis, we must accord dignity to people with addiction and recognize that there is no one path to recovery.
Whew.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of like the essence of everything.
Yeah.
We want to accord dignity to everybody that struggles.
Absolutely.
And that goes in any disease.
For sure.
I mean, and so why does our disease kind of get that?
Because people think that we chose it.
Yeah, they think we chose it.
I started it. I didn't choose it. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, and so, when your person you're around, you're with is struggling, it's a means to relieve.
Mm-hmm.
And many people use many different things to relieve their thing, their pain, their issue. And so we just want to remind people that, yes, sometimes people do really bad things when they're under the influence. And yes, they can commit crimes and they can maybe hurt another human, or they do something that society doesn't accept. But it's generally not the mission of the person, it's the situation.
Right.
And yes, those who commit crimes and have to pay the consequences. I had 2 DWIs. I had to pay the consequences. I didn't do it without my driver's license. I didn't do it. They took my car forever, so bye-bye. So I had consequences that I had to pay, and I was okay with that. I didn't like it in the moment.
But I'm not going to look at you here today, 22 years later, and define who you are by that.
No.
Why would I do that?
No, because I got in a whole lot better. I still might struggle with stuff, but so does everybody. So, there are people that the people that we are representing, and the people that we love the most. And sometimes we don't always like the people that we're serving, but we respect them. I don't not like, but sometimes I'm not. I don't
jive.
Don't jive. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I don't jive with somebody, but that doesn't mean I disrespect them. It doesn't mean I judge them. It's just like we're not exactly in the same realm of life. But you know what? I'm still going to help you.
Yeah, I want to see you succeed.
Yeah, because I want you more better.
Yeah.
Because if you're more better, then I'm more better. And if I'm more better, then they're more better. And if they're more better, then we're all more better.
That's right.
I think I just got a little weird there. Okay.
More better.
More better. So there are 11 points on this. Please do not mistake this for the 12 steps of any programs of any kind, because there's only 11, but sometimes people think I'm talking about that. I'm not. I'm talking about the Recovery Bill of Rights from Faces and Voices of Recovery, put together by a St. Paul institution, which is now nationally recognized for what we do. So one of the things is that we have the right to be viewed as capable of changing and growing. I have the right?
I'm capable?
I can change?
On my own?
And you can grow?
Yay.
Yay! And so that's another big part of this, and that is we can do this.
I said on my own, but I didn't mean like I can do it on my own. I mean like I can make the decisions on my own.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what I should be given the opportunity to do. Because sometimes in our recovery realm, treatment center realm, people are told what to do, when to do, where to do it, how to do it, and do it again. Again, I do that in class every couple of weeks, so it rolls right off the tongue. But hear me, people in treatment are told what to do, when to do, where to do it, how to do it, and do it again. And as Sarah said in one of our previous shows, then you live in a bubble. And once you get out of that bubble, all those safety nets are gone. And that's sometimes why people might have a real hard time reintegrating, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another one here. We have the right, as do our families and friends, to know about the many pathways of recovery and the nature of addiction. What?
Pathways? And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, this one kind of on the last one, I was going to say also, like by giving people choices, that's, or giving things to people. Well, it's not enabling, is what I just want to
No.
say. It's empowering people. If I have the choice that so many people have taken away from me before, man, that makes me feel good. I finally get to make a choice again in my life. Hot damn. Now you're going to tell me about these many pathways, and I get to choose which pathway I want?
Woo!
Even better.
Yeah, even better. Better, Freddy. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can tell by Erin's and my voices how much this literally is part of what we believe.
Huge.
About people that are struggling and people that have made it into recovery. And then where are they on their journey? I mean, this is the stuff that we live by, and I literally live by. I mean, I don't worry, I don't read these every night, everybody. This is not like my bedtime reading material. But this is what I literally want people to believe in their soul, that they have the right to these things. So the next one is we have the right, whether seeking recovery in the community, a physician's office, treatment center, or while incarcerated, to set our own recovery goals. I mean, there are enough stories that I've heard about people who go into some clinical situation and they're kind of told, meaning I don't get you, so here, go someplace else because I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah, quit drinking, get an assessment, go to treatment.
Yeah. And then sometimes people might not even know to do that. They're like, oh, you've got a problem? I'm really sorry. Why did you come in today? Well, my foot hurts. Okay, I can deal with your foot. You know, sometimes I think people get disregarded because the professional, no hit on professionals, they get very little education on the issues of somebody who struggles with an addiction. It's complex. There ain't nothing easy about it, is it, Erin?
Yeah, no, not at all. And so just to get somebody to actually listen to your wants and needs can be difficult. I know when I was actively using, several times I was in the doctor's office because I had a lot of pain. And I had talked about the pain a lot and how it wasn't going away and different things that I had done. But I was kind of disregarded because of that gold star that said that I was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right? And so that was kind of like the opposite spectrum where I didn't get the service that I needed. And so I stopped asking them, though.
Yeah, and then what happens is that pain didn't go away.
No.
No, she says. And so then you become reluctant to ask your service provider or somebody else for the help that you need. And then what can do is that can exacerbate a problem.
Right.
And in Erin's case, it took how many years to begin to find the solution?
Yeah, about 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not pain.
That's not okay.
No, not okay. We say it right here. It's not okay. Do not disregard somebody of their issue, even if they struggle with a substance use disorder, because that might not be what the problem is. There could be something underlying. Listen to us, please.
Yeah, for sure. We have the right to select services that build on our strengths. Again, this is person-driven. We know what our strengths are, right? You don't know what my strengths are or what my weaknesses are, so I want to be able to choose those services that I know are going to be beneficial to me.
And ask me. Oh, imagine that. Yeah. And a lot of times people assume they know what to do because everybody else that's come in front of them has needed X, Y, or Z. And so that's got to be the solution because we get to be tossed into the same bucket of problems, and we're not seen for our individuality and what brought us to this situation, this space. We need to be seen for who we are, just like we get to see everybody else. We see a young person who struggles with a disability, be it visible or invisible. What can I do for you? How can I help you? Because that's recognized as something that's there. Where somebody who struggles with our issues, they're like, you just have a problem, so go over there.
That's defining who we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we haven't had any voice in it. So stop that. Stop that. We have the right to be served by organizations or healthcare or social service providers that view recovery positively. So it kind of goes back to that other one that we have the right to seek recovery in our communities and all those places. But we need to be viewed positively. If we're coming into your office and we're asking for help, What do we need help with? And whether we are either, maybe we're not sober at that time, and maybe we are still using our substances. But you know what? If I have a problem, I want to be seen.
Yes, right. And again, just like, don't define me by my past and by my worst moments. Like, I'm in recovery.
Right.
So let's focus on that part.
Or working on my recovery. Because sometimes people, it takes a little bit more. You know, one of the great discussions that we had in the class last week was, no, it wasn't in class. Where was it? It was in something I had this week. We were talking about somebody who was on the board of an organization who had one of those stores that sells a particular product that is legal, that is maybe sometimes gummies or smokes.
You mean cannabis?
Yeah. And they were part of the recovery community. And we're like, is that okay? Can they have that business and still be part of the recovery community? So we had to have a big discussion about that. Does that seem right or not right? Or is it wrong? I don't know. You know, if somebody's doing something legally and it's not against the law, even though sometimes it has a negative reaction. I don't know, alcohol, it's legal. People, stores, and they can be part of community groups that maybe have been impacted by alcohol. So it was a big discussion about what's right and what's wrong. But we need to be seeing people in recovery positively.
And that's where we come into play too, like with the recovery within our recovery community, communities within recovery communities. I right away am thinking like, yeah, why not? And I can see where other people are like, heck no.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's...
recovery is different for everybody.
Everybody. And I think that's where it's about having a really good discussion. You know, what does your recovery look like to you? Or what does your substance use look like to you? Tell me. I need to know, because if I'm a normie, if I'm a person who doesn't struggle, then I got lights on, nobody's home. I don't know.
Right.
So ask.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Ask and then listen.
Yeah.
All right, we have the right to be considered as more than a statistic. I'm not just a number, Caddy.
No, you are not. You're that beautiful human.
If you want to count me as a number, count me as a number in the positive direction.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot
chart.
There's a lot of statistics out there about substance use disorder, and and I could go into all kinds of them because they are sort of floating around in my head from my teachings. But the fact is that we are individual always. We are just the person that's in front of you, and that's how we should be seen, not part of the bigger block of humans, because that's them but not me. So let's just see me for who I am. We have the right to a health care and social service system that recognizes the strengths and needs of the people with addiction.
I think this is one that's been lacking in my perspective.
Say more.
Well, just from what I have been through in many different scenarios, I haven't gotten the treatment that I needed in a positive way. And even when I've called clinics and I said, hey, I'm looking for somebody who's going to treat me like a good person. I have an addiction to alcohol. And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, I want somebody that's going to just treat me like I'm Erin and not like I'm that.
Right.
And so she gave me a specific name and said, this person works with, with people with, well, I think she said with addicts and alcoholics or whatever. But yeah.
And somebody out there might be wondering, well, why do you even tell them? Well, you know what? Because we have a different brain chemistry sometimes, and somebody might want to give us medications that would be very inappropriate for us because of some of the chemistry that we have, the disease of addiction that we have. And so we do disclose what's been going on. And I mean, I've done that several times, and usually I say the time in recovery, like, oh, wow, that's great. But until I tell them the time, they're like, yeah. And so somebody who maybe has 6 months or a year in recovery, I want somebody on the other end of that desk or that table or whatever go, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, my favorite doctors that I've met that have been like pro Erin have both been urgent care doctors. And I'm just like, shucky darn. I need you in my life.
Yeah, because they've seen it all.
And they've seen it all, and they understood where I was coming from when I was telling them about things like not being heard and not being understood. And I don't know if this is related to my alcohol use. I hope that it's not. Please tell me it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there's a lot of systems out there too. Individuals that are stuck in incarceration, or people that are stuck in court proceedings, and they're not seen in a social setting as completely acceptable, and they have the right to be seen wholly and completely outside of what that substance might have been a reaction to. And, those are the things that really need to be taken into consideration. So we can't prejudge people. We got to find out who they are in that moment.
Heck to the yes. All right, we have the right to be represented by informed policymakers.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
We know some people that are making policies now, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Yay.
Yeah, there's a whole, I don't know all the terminology when it comes to...
Like the new departments.
New Department of Substance Use Disorder that Jeremy, who used to be our board...
Drucker.
Yeah, Jeremy Drucker used to be our board chair, has taken part in, and many of our people in our recovery community are part of that conversation, because guess who should be at that table? The people who struggle with the substance use disorder. Yeah. Let's not have people who, even our allies, in this case, there's some allies that would be welcome at that table if their families, their experiences around that. But we need people that have literally been there in the, I'm going to use the word, trenches of substance use, and found their way out and continue to work on their recovery. Those are the people that can help the people that struggle and how to get out of that and what some of those laws should look like.
Yeah. It's good to have people at the table.
Yeah, we don't want to be on the menu. Right?
That's right.
We have the right to be respectful. We have the right to respectful, non-discriminatory care from doctors. I think we've said an awful lot about that. But see, there's all those different systems that this all plays into. So that's where we're talking about, because sometimes we are not seen. And it might not just be by a doctor. In this case, it talks a lot about the healthcare systems.
Yeah, and social systems as well.
Yeah, like HMOs and healthcare plans. Some are accepting peer recovery specialists, certified peer recovery specialists, and some are not, because they haven't accepted the fact that this is a viable service for people that struggle with addiction. We have to kind of, I don't want to say the word fight, but we have to advocate for ourselves as, like at Minnesota Recovery Connection, to be able to say we want to bill for these services, because we have proven, it is proven that these services help people that struggle with substance use disorder. But not all of those spaces and places say, yeah, let's hop on the track.
Yeah, right.
So so we're advocating here an awful lot.
Yes. All right. We have the right to treatment and recovery support in the criminal justice system. Ooh, and that's where those lenses need to be changed a little extra, because there's kind of like that double whammy, right? Not only are you incarcerated, but you also have substance use disorder. And so people just really need to understand what got us there.
Yeah. And there's some, and I literally know people in the Department of Corrections that are so doing it right, and they care so much. And then there are some systems that fail miserably. And I don't think it's because people don't care. I think this is a place where the system itself is just not observant enough, doesn't understand that people who hurt need help, not to be punished more and more. And that's a big nut to crack. And luckily we have the opportunity to be making inroads within these systems and seeing success. Wow, there's been some cool success. And that's really amazing.
Yeah. And it seems like treatment is pretty accessible inside of the prisons. Right, pretty. I
Yeah,
mean,
in the state of Minnesota, the Department of Corrections has done a much better job. The federal prisons have not done as much of a good job.
There you go.
And I am not casting shame on people that are working in those systems because they've got very hard jobs and they can only do what they can do. We just need to begin to continue to educate all the different entities that have people that are struggling or have struggled or have had consequences for their use. How can we support you versus punish you?
right. And so now inside of Minnesota, perhaps when folks go through their treatment in incarceration, they can be connected with their peer inside those buildings as well.
Yeah,
So they can really start giving full service.
for sure. I just came up with a new show idea, and that is one of the things that we're looking at is having those who have longer sentences are ones that we are going to be training more extensively because they might have done something at some point and they're having to pay the price. But many times those who are doing longer sentences have the most impact on others that come into that Department of Corrections system. So it's an idea just crackling around in my head about having a good discussion around that with a couple of different voices.
I like that.
Yeah. And so the last one is that we have the right to speak publicly about our recovery.
Yeah.
Hello, Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution.
Wonderful.
We are speaking about us.
So good.
Yeah. So this is something that, like I said, I live by all these and I try to see all these aspects when we're talking about the community of people that struggle with substance use disorder, those who find their recovery, those who are still using substances because they haven't found their way out yet. Everybody really deserves respect. Sometimes it's hard because sometimes some people just don't act right. But there's a lot of people that aren't using drugs that don't act right either.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if we've been hurt by people in substance use disorder, we just got to give them a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
Try to understand why.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. So, thank you, Erin. This has been a real great conversation. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of events that are coming up. Right now, I'm going to have Erin share with you
Sure.
Minnesota Recovery Connections, huge events. And then when we come back we'll come back from break. We'll do some more events.
I'm going to swap that.
You're going to swap that?
Yep, we got more time after the break.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you about 2 events that are coming up.
Okay, cool.
One has started and is ongoing every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock at Roxy's Cabaret. There is Drag Queen Bingo Charity, or Drag Queen Charity Bingo. And so it's raising awareness and promoting raising funds for charities in the community.
Nice.
Yeah, so recovery, raising awareness about the opioids in particular. So, again, that's every Tuesday and Thursday at Roxy's Cabaret, Drag Queen Charity Bingo. And then Thrive Family Recovery, who we've talked about several times and had Molly on from there. They are having a family fun event in September, which is Recovery Awareness Month. So on Sunday, September 29th, from 3 to 7 at Hometown Church in Bloomington, they're having a family recovery fun day. That'll be good. And then I'll tell you about one of our events.
Yeah, and so I think what's really, for those of you who are supporting individuals that are looking for community building events, you could just do the Google and you could pull up recovery events and you'll probably get a few, or if you know of a treatment center or of an organization, you could put in their organization and look at their event calendar. A lot of times people just need something safe to do, and that's what some of these are. And so, but events that bring light to things that need to have that illumination, which is organizations that help people through opioid use, with alcohol, with other kinds of chemicals that have gotten in their way of life. We need to spread the love.
Yeah, and I like, it's kind of like our motto at MRC is we do recovery. We do recover. And that's kind of what this show is like. It's the recovery community coming together in a space, and We're like, hey, man, look at us.
Yeah.
We're doing this thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're shining a light.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people live in the shadows. They literally live in the shadows. People that struggle with substance use disorder sometimes feel as though they are invisible. And what we want to do is we want to give them an opportunity to say, it's okay to shine. How can we give you the tools to shine?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So we'll talk about the other 3 events that Minnesota Recovery Connection is hosting when we come back.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Redefining Recovery, Recovery Revolution.
This guitar needs 6 strings, 'cause without it there's no song. And this house needs love in it.
Welcome back to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution. Oh, Caddy, we're going to talk about some more fun events, recovery events. This is good. The big one that we start planning for, the Walk for Recovery, which many people in the community have heard about, has been going on for many years. I want you to tell us your favorite stuff about this.
The Walk for Recovery. I have been working on this now for like 5 years, maybe?
Probably more.
No, well, anyway, a few years.
while.
We'll go with a few years because that's left loose. It started, I believe, 13 years ago. Started out at Lake of the Isles. We had some tables, a couple food trucks, some entertainment. And one of the first ones that I didn't even work for the organization. I was just kind of going to check it out. And then because I've done a ton of events, I was like, oh, wait a minute, I got to fix that. Oh, wait, I got to fix that. Oh, wait, I got to fix that. So I ran around and sort of pretended I knew what I was doing. I kind of knew what I was doing, but nobody knew what I was doing. So I've seen it go from this small thing to now we're at the state capitol. Wowza! Like we went from baby town to big town.
Yeah, I don't know how many people showed up at that first one, do you?
Well, there were hundreds of people that showed up at the smaller ones, and the walk was around Lake of the Isles, so people literally did this long walk, and they really enjoyed that. That's maybe the one thing that doesn't get as much foot work is at the state capitol, but the idea at the state capitol is that we can have a larger group of humans, and man, you're walking around those whole grounds, you're getting in your steps anyway. So, we moved to the state capitol 2019, and that was a lot because we had no idea what we were doing because we had such a gigantic space, and we just have had so many learning lessons on this, and we've really sort of fine-tuned it. So we have an amazing ability to pull together the recovery community and all of the people that support us around it. I was just looking at our sponsorship list today before we came here, and we've got, we mentioned the Department of Corrections. They've got a table. Well, they're one of the better treatment centers in the world because they got people not using drugs. But that's not true either. We'll leave that one alone. But, we've just got incredible sponsors that are going to be there. Our Walk for Recovery is sponsored by New Way Alliance, so we thank them very much as our key sponsor for the event. And we have food trucks and we have entertainment. Erin will talk about the bands that will be there. We've got tables and tables of community members and organizations that are going to be there, sponsors that are going to be supporting us through the event. We've got animals. We've got jump houses. What else do we have, Erin?
I don't know, around 4,000 happy faces.
Yeah, that. But so when we kind of crack the proverbial doors open, we're going to have, last year, I think we said about 4,000 folks. And it's crazy fun.
Well, it's incredible. It just means that people are coming out of their shells and saying, hey, yo, I'm in recovery. I'm proud of it now. Because there used to be that anonymity thing. So here we are. We're showing people hope. 4,000 people at a time in one space, showing hope to anybody out there.
And the people that support the people.
Oh, for sure.
And I think one of the things that we always have is we always have people do our walk teams. And there have been several individuals that pull together a team because somebody died from their drug addiction and their substance use disorder. They either overdosed or whatever the circumstances might be. So they're there in honor of that human.
For sure.
And that's really That's why we do all of this, everyone, is we do this because we need to keep people alive. And if that means we just hold their hand and walk alongside them, even if they're not ready to stop using, that's why we have these events. We want to bring eyes to our community.
I love it.
So who are the bands that we're going to have at the Walk for Recovery?
Oh,
Naya.
Oh, I didn't write these down.
That's
Carrie. I
okay.
didn't know.
So we'll tell you.
Artificial Flowers and
Artificial
Sunset.
Flowers.
And then we've got Vernus as our DJ.
Yeah, we got some good stuff happening.
Yeah.
So we have the Walk for Recovery, September 21st, 10 to 3 at the state capitol. Be there or be there. None of this be square business.
Nope.
You are not square. You're round and wonderful, and we want you there in
You're
your
gonna
humanness.
be around.
So we have 2 more events that we also have during the Walk for Recovery month.
Yes. The Gratitude Breakfast is going to be on September 30th. Oh, I wanted to mention too, folks, for the Walk for Recovery, if you wanted to register for a team or to raise money for us, you can go right to our website. Just click on Walk for Recovery. You can either just donate, become a team, or become an individual to raise money. There are some incentive prizes for raising money. They're pretty good ones. And yeah, we just really would appreciate that. We love all of it. And coming up with teams is so much fun. I like the team names and shirts and stuff get real creative. People are fun.
Just as a reminder, nonprofit organization, grassroots, run by people in recovery. So every penny that we get from these events is put to good use to help people.
Absolutely.
So, Gratitude Breakfast.
Yes, Gratitude Breakfast is Monday, September 30th at 7:30 at Augsburg University.
A.M.
7:30 a.m. Yeah, breakfast. 7:30 a.m. breakfast. Thank you. At Augsburg University. And you can register to go to that as well on our website. But we have a keynote speaker this year, and that is Michael Derschlag. And he's the director of Pease Academy, Pease. And that is the longest running recovery high school in the United States.
I did not realize it was in the United States.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
So opened in 1995, and he's going to just come and talk about the academy and what recovery means to him, or, you know, all that good stuff. Just give some gratitude back to the community, and it's nice. And then we've got the Rally Caps game.
Woohoo!
Ooh, that's always fun. I love the baseball game. That's on Tuesday, September 10th. That's kind of a later one, at 6:40. But what do you love about that?
It is so much fun. So I want to make sure when you said the Gratitude Breakfast, you did say September 30th.
I think so.
Okay.
Monday, September 30th.
Okay, Monday, September 30th for the Gratitude Breakfast. Okay, sorry. All of a sudden I heard August in my head. Anyway, the Rally Caps for Recovery. It is an amazing, fun time.
It is fun.
Yeah, so we get a huge chunk of seats that we sell out to anybody who wants them. We give some away to some of our key sponsors for the Walk for Recovery, so they get a chunk of seats. But we have filled with people that are in recovery and their families who are in recovery, their allies in recovery. And the coolest thing is that if anybody's ever been to a Twins game, there's always somebody who opens up the game, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody, and I'm not exactly sure who it is going to be opening up that game with their recovery story or a snippet of what recovery means to them. Mm-hmm. And so everybody, not just our sections, but everybody in that stadium gets to see and hear that recovery is something that can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful, beautiful way to just celebrate that we are a strong community, that we believe in ourselves, we believe in one another, and we are here to just show it off. Mm-hmm. I'm not living in the shadows anymore.
Heck no. I got to tell you, one of my favorite things about going to these events is I almost always run into somebody that I used to use with.
Oh,
and
really?
now they're in recovery. It's like, hoorah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just run into so many people I've known over the years with all the people that I've trained, and they're like, hey, Caddy. I'm like, hey, friend. Hey, hi, honey. How are you? Good to know you. Can't remember most people's names, but, you know, it's not that I don't care. It's that I can't retain.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but it's so amazing to see all these shiny faces show up either at the Rally Caps for Recovery September 9th or the Gratitude Breakfast September 31st. And then the Walk for Recovery, September 21st.
21st, yeah. 30th for the gratitude
breakfast. We'll get our stuff together here.
We got some time to give you the information smoothly.
So we just want to thank you for always supporting Redefining Recovery Revolution. The people that you know that might be struggling with substance use disorder, love them, care for them, give them as much as you can, because what you give to them, you will get back triple-fold when they find their recovery.
Yeah. Thanks very much just for all of your support and all of the things, whether it's for this station, or our individual show, or for our recovery community, 100%. Yeah,
be sure that you listen to, if you want to listen to any of the podcast, you can listen to it on AM 950 or any of your listening pleasures, wherever that is. I always mess that one up. Streaming platforms. And also join us in supporting our mission. Be an annual donor, a one-time donor, volunteer for our organization. Whatever you can give us, we can use, because we want to do that. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Peace.